What is up, Batman statue collector friends? My name is Bennett, and I am here to review the incredible Mondo 6-scale Man-Bat figure from Batman the Animated Series. We're going to take a look at the different head sculpts, the alternate arms, and compare it to some of the other figures from the line. Let's check it out. So let's take a closer look at the figure here. This is by far the largest figure in the line, which you'll see a little later when we do a comparison between the others. The base here is the same throughout each figure. This one, of course, being a lot bigger. The stand that connects to the base is really tough to get in. You really got to push hard. It feels like it shouldn't go in, but it will. Unfortunately, when I was pushing mine in, it slipped on me and left this little black paint mark there. You know, not terrible, but wish it wasn't there. One thing I will definitely point out is the joints are pretty tough to move on some of them. The arms you can move only a bit. It's not, if you're the craziest poser, these figures probably aren't the right figures for you. I'm more of a museum guy, so it works perfectly fine for me. So they will move, just not too much. You can move there. They are pretty stiff. They've loosened up a bit for me as I've been playing around with it, but a lot of people have suggested to use either hot water to heat it up or a blow dryer. You have a little bit of chest articulation here. You can move the feet around. The head is on a swivel joint, so you have a little bit of articulation there. Let's take a look at the back too. There you go. He's got a pretty wide wingspan, but you can, depending on your setup, you can push that in a little or make it wide. We'll see the other arms in a bit also. And this here is the first head sculpt. This is my favorite one out of the few, so let's take a look at the others. Here we have what is the, I guess, default head sculpt. It's the one that comes on it. It's the one that's on the box. So there he is. Here we have a bit of a kind of grinning head sculpt. The second one. This is a little bit of a sad look he's got. And last, we've got the mid-transformation Kirk Landstrom head sculpt. Pretty cool. Probably wouldn't display it like this, but a very cool option to have. Mondo usually does a pretty good job at alternate head sculpts with the figures. Just wanted to really pull in here to get a close look at this guy. Such a great figure. I mean, the colors, the shading, the size, the expression on the head is just amazing. We got the wings there. And a closer look from the back side here. The stand really holds him well, but I would say without it, you're gonna have a really hard time getting him to stand up. The feet there just don't support the figure too well, so as long as you're cool with having the stand there, this figure is gonna look great in the display. And I think the classic Batman symbol definitely works for me. The figure also comes with this tethered shirt add-on here, which actually wasn't in the original On Leather Wings episode. This was from a later episode where Langstrom's wife becomes the Man-Bat, or the Woman-Bat. But it's really cool they included this still. Here we can see it all around. made of a pretty thin plastic, so easy to put on. You just put it right over his head, or you could take the head sculpt off and put it on first. So what we're seeing here now is the Mondo exclusive wings that you had to purchase only on the Mondo website. The only reason I'm not putting them on him is because it's honestly really hard to take those arms out, and I don't plan on displaying him with these, so I didn't want to go through the process of having to do that, so I figured I'd still show you what they look like, and we can kind of put it up next to them to see the difference. It's huge. It's crazy that they actually did this. I still prefer the normal look, but man, in a display where you can display this, it's gonna look incredible. So there's the size difference between the two for one arm. Wow. So now we're gonna take a look at some comparison shots with the other figures in the line. Here we have the Batman. This is actually the second version they put out, the Redux, which has a bit updated paint. The highlights are a little updated too, but you could see just the massive size difference between the two. He's huge, kind of putting his arm around them like they're buds. But there's the Batman comparison. Here we have Man-Bat with the Joker. As you can see, Christmas with the Joker playing in the background. Again, these figures just nail the likeness and everything so perfectly from the show. It's really incredible, and I really love this line. I've been a Hot Toy collector for a while, but when it comes to the animated series, Mondo just absolutely kills it. So there's the Joker with Man-Bat. Next, we have Mr. Freeze next to Man-Bat. So as you can see in comparison, all of the other figures are pretty much exactly the same size. So Man-Bat is going to tower over all of them. It's going to be really interesting to see, maybe later this year, maybe next year, once Bane is actually released, what he's going to look like. Because the prototype pictures they show have a huge chest and arms. So I bet it's going to be pretty similar in size to Man-Bat here, but it's not even announced yet, so we'll have to wait and see what that looks like. But here's Mr. Freeze with Man-Bat. And last but not least, we have Selena Kyle Catwoman. This is probably the smallest of the line, though it's still pretty similar to the other pieces, so he's going to tower over her the most. So there's the look at the two of them. The last one that I actually don't have is the Harley Quinn, because I unfortunately missed out on the Mondo exclusive. So I'm kind of waiting to see if I can get that one. I can get the regular one now, but the exclusive comes with her two hyenas, which I would love to have, but I'm kind of in a waiting pattern, hoping I can get that at some point for not a ridiculous price. But here is the two of them. Well, there you have it. That was the Batman the Animated Series 6-scale Man-Bat figure from Mondo. Like I said throughout the whole video, I think Mondo just does the absolute best job at capturing the likeness and the colors and just the feel from the show. As a huge Batman the Animated Series fan, this is just something that I could not wait to get into my collection, along with the other figures. Gotta get that Harley figure. But next one up on the line is the Phantasm, which actually just shipped today, so I should have that soon. Very excited to add it to the collection, and hopefully later this year, Bane will be announced, and I'll definitely be adding that too. So thanks a lot, guys, and have fun collecting.